anything, you need to get good at one thing and do it over and over and over and get an edge on the market. Like trading is a very vast world. So this is an important level.
Do you keep longs and shorts open at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all the time.
I just, for me, I think I've decided I'm going to go back to what I said I was going to originally do, and then I stopped doing. I'm going to stop shorting right now. I'm going to stop shorting for the rest of this market. That's not true. I may short when I believe we peaked, because I do think we'll have a pretty hefty pullback. So that would probably be sometime around the end of the month, beginning of next month. But right now, until I feel like we have hit that peak, even if we continue going down, I'm not going to short. I don't like shorting. I don't like watching the value of my assets that I'm making gains on going down. It sounds stupid. And I'm not I can't catch every trade. I don't have time to catch every trade. And that's something I'm finding about the indicator. So one thing I'm going to do to limit my losses is I'm only going to trade with the bull market trend.
Interesting.
That means a lot of times waiting for green arrows, waiting for bottoms, and being patient. And because that's how I made all my money in the last bull run in trading. When I turned 80,000 into $1 million, I then turned 10,000 into 100,000 or 1,000 to 100,000, whatever it was, very quickly. It was because I was only longing. I wasn't shorting at all, pretty much. I think I did 2 shorts during 2 months that time, and I think they both lost because my bias is bullish, and I'm pretty good at, if I just go with that mindset, waiting to be patient, and I'm going to look for these green arrows, what I'm going to look for. And so right now, like I'm looking through, I'm not seeing any. That's because I don't think the local trend is over going down. I do think that we're going to hold support maybe at 60K or a wick to 57 and bounce back up or something like that. We could see that. But I think overall, we do have one more run up. I can't swear it's going to happen. But because of that, I'm going to be patient, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait until some of these green arrows start popping up on this hourly, because I think that's going to be the move, the gusto to get us back up in the upward direction. But don't be fooled here. We are having a big pullback at some point. Yep. It happens every market, but I just don't think this is the big pullback.
Ben, I do want to say that I admire the stance you're taking, because the problem that a lot of traders get, they get stuck because they don't know, oh, should I go long? Should I go short? What way to go? I know traders that will only trade oversold bounces. I know traders that will only trade bullish divergence on the 1 hour, or traders that will only go long, only go short. If you are having trouble shorting, you just want to focus on long tradings, that's good, because you want to find your strategy. You don't need to be the best breakout trader, the best bull flag trader, the best anything. You need to get good at one thing and do it over and over and over and get an edge on the market. Like trading is a very vast world. There's a lot of strategize. A lot of strategies you could use, right? But when you isolate certain strategies and only go one direction, doing one thing, that's how you're going to like really lock it down.
I think you make a lot of great points there, but I think the other thing is that I find myself, and once again, we talked about the other day in our BitLab video, knowing yourself as a trader, knowing yourself as a trader. Yep. And myself as a trader, I've got a bullish bias, and I can't break it. I cannot break it. I don't like even making money sitting in shorts. I don't even like it. Yeah. And so for me, it's not that I can't short. I can.
Money like short money.
Right. I've lost a lot of money. Well, that's not true. It doesn't make any sense at all, because
that's just what crypto faces.
Right. It's a cool phrase. And what he means when he says that is when it plunges and you're in a short, it plunges much faster than it goes up.
Yes, of course.
So that's what he's saying. But in reality, that's not true, because your value of your assets are going down. It's always better to be in a long, because your money is going up and the value of Bitcoin is going up. So all of your crypto is going up. So it's a good thing. But I think for me personally, I don't like, let me tell you something I cannot do. And it's just an OCD thing. I just cannot do it. I cannot sit in a long and a short at the same time. I cannot. It happened this morning. I was in, because I've been messing around with the indicator and doing the shorts like it says. And I was in, I think, a short on Blur. And this also happened last week too, with a short that I had on, maybe it was Injective, something like that. And so I put these shorts in, And then I start getting alerts for longs. I start looking at the market and say, oh, the market trend is changing. Here we go. And man, let me get out of this short so I can move that money back over to a long, you know? That's what I do. And so I did it. I did it twice in the last 2 days. And both times, the longs that I immediately went into that I got the alerts, they got almost immediately nullified and hard exited. And both of those shorts were the ones that would have made the money. And it's because, like, I just can't. It's kind of like fantasy football, right? Like, let's say you're playing fantasy football. People know how that works, a lot of people. And you have Drake London for the Falcons. And let's say you have Tyreek Hill against the Dolphins, okay? So we're playing Falcons versus Dolphins. You have the guy that's on the other team. You're not a Falcons fan. You got Tyreek Hill on your team, and the other guy has Drake London on his team. But the Falcons are your team. Mm-hmm. You love the Falcons. You want them to win. And you're sitting there watching the game, and you're like,
yes, no, yes.
Exactly.
Yes, no, yes. No.
And I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that. And that's the same feeling I have when I trade them in a long and a short is like, I want the longs to win, and I want the shorts to like real quick plunge and come back up. I don't like, I can't have them open at the same time. So for especially maybe in a sideways market, not in this bull market. Right. When the trend changes and we have a gigantic pullback, I certainly will consider getting in some shorts. But it's hard to know that until it's been confirmed. And then a lot of times the meat of the move is over because it does plunge so quick. Yeah. So for the longs, I think it's cool. Just be patient. Let's see what happens and, go from there.
Yeah. I mean, I like that strategy. I'm not, like, in terms of leverage trading, very rarely in a long and a short at the same time. Sometimes, like, back in Miami, right, when the graph was at 50 cents, and, Algorand was at 30 cents, H-bar was ripping, my long-term bags were going up. And I, like, realized, okay, like, this is probably a local top. You know what I mean? And even did a cryptic tweet about it. Some people caught the joke. And I think to myself, am I going to sell my long-term hold? I know the market's probably going to crash 20, 30%. Am I going to sell my long-term holds? No, I'm not, because I want to hold my long-term holds for at least a year, an entire year, to get that tax break, right? So that's why we separate our long-term trades from our short-term trades. And with your short-term trades, short the hell out of the market to offset the gains you're losing from your long-term hold. So that's kind of I feel like if you have a big hodl bag, you're always long and short at the same time if you think about it.